An 11-year-old girl named Riley Anderson moves from Minnesota to San Francisco. She thought everything would be great, but started having doubts after seeing her new house and other aspects of the town. Her emotions, joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear, try their best to make Riley happy. Joy and sadness are ejected out of the headquarters through a series of mishaps. Now it's up to anger, disgust, and fear to make Riley happy until they return. Plot: a girl named Riley is born in Minnesota and, in her mind, at different points in her life, 5 living emotions are created. Joy attempts to keep her happy. Anger keeps her life fair. Disgust keeps her from being poisoned both physically and socially, and fear keeps her safe. Sadness, however, doesn't think she has a purpose in her mind or that of the other emotions and is ignored as a result. The most relevant memories, known as core memories, each reflecting a different aspect of her personality. Family Island, Friendship Island, Goofball Island, Hockey Island, and Honesty Island. The emotions try everything in their power to make the moving process a pleasant experience, only to turn on sadness when she turns a happy memory orb into a sad one by touching it and accidentally causes a core memory to fall out. Aware that memories cannot be changed back once turned sad, and let the other emotions do their job. Joy desperately tries to dispose of it by using a vacuum tube that leads to the mind world. But a struggle with sadness leads to the core memories being knocked out from the container. Before Joy can put them back, she and sadness are carried off with the core memories, leaving disgust, fear, and anger to deal with Riley. Joy and sadness venture the various islands and a labyrinth-like place called long-term memory, where Riley's past memories are stored. They are soon assisted by Riley's childhood imaginary friend Bing Bong, a scrappily dressed pink cotton candy elephant cat dolphin creature. Bing Bong was hoping to reconnect with Riley via a memory of his song-powered wagon, Rocket. Although initially, Bing Bong is happy and cheerful, the pair discovers that he is secretly miserable, having been out of a job since Riley was 4. He desperately wants to feel loved again, reasoning that, if he has no purpose, he will cease to exist. Although Joy attempts to keep this revelation positive, sadness comforts a crying Bing Bong, which leaves Joy more confused than ever as to how being sad could help Bing Bong. Joy, sadness, and Bing Bong hatch a plan to ride the train of thought back to headquarters, and begin their trek through various parts of Riley's mind in order to reach the loading dock. Meanwhile, with disgust, anger, and fear in control, Riley's life begins to crumble. She alienates her former friends from Minnesota, fails to connect with her parents, and struggles in the new school. As Joy and company close in on their destination, anger, disgust, and fear finally reason that, if Riley was only happy in Minnesota, there is no choice but to tell her to return there and prepare to run away from her own family. At night, Joy and her fellow emotions finally reach the loading dock, although it is now so late that the train of thought will not arrive until morning. They give Riley a nightmare by awakening a monstrous clown named Jangles from her subconscious, and fear, being on dream duty that night, awakens her, jump-starting her train of thought. Joy, sadness, and Bing Bong are nearly at headquarters when the other bunch of emotions put their plan into action, instructing Riley to steal from her mother's bag and pack it to run away to Minnesota. This action causes Riley's Honesty Island to crumble, derailing the train of thought. Joy finds a way back to headquarters through a broken recall tube, but after sadness almost turns the core memories sad, Joy decides to leave her and Bing Bong behind. She starts up the tube, but as Riley leaves the house, Family Island begins to crumble, destroying the tube and causing Joy to fall into the memory dump. It seems that all hope is lost, as, in a matter of minutes, Joy and Bing Bong will be forgotten and cease to exist. Joy, in despair, starts to gather the core memories and reminisce about happier times, stating, "I just wanted Riley to be happy." They decide to use it to return to the top, TS the rocket one last time, then jumps off as it begins to fly. Joy looks back on Bing Bong in the memory dump as she realized Bing Bong's act of selflessness. Bing Bong cheers on Joy to go save Riley. As he starts to fade away, Bing Bong lastly asks Joy, "Take her to the moon for me, okay?" Joy sorrowfully watches Bing Bong fade away and promises that she will try to fulfill his last wish. Joy grabs the bag full of Riley's core memories and attempts to reconcile with Sadness, but discovers that Sadness has run away from her, hopped onto a cloud, and flew away, believing that she only makes everything worse and that Riley is better off without her. Using various tools from Imagination Land, Joy launches herself from the trampoline on Family Island, grabbing Sadness and sending the two flying towards HQ. However, a thick window separates them from the other emotions, and Anger desperately tries to break it using a chair. When this fails, Disgust has an idea. As Anger gets frustrated, Disgust purposely insults his intelligence, making Anger furious and causing his head to go up in flames. Disgust uses him as a blowtorch to melt the window, allowing Joy and Sadness to return. Although the other emotions beg her to stop Riley from running away and fix the relationship between her and her parents, Joy turns control over to Sadness, which surprises the others. Sadness successfully removes the idea of running away from Riley's mind, which fixes the control panel and makes Riley give up on running away, and she decides to return home to her worried parents. Joy gives Sadness the happy memories, and they turn into sad ones. Sadness takes control of the panel, and Riley finally reveals her true feelings to her parents as she begins to cry, telling her parents that she hates San Francisco and misses her old life in Minnesota and that she had been pretending to be happy because she was afraid they'd be mad if she stopped being their happy girl. Riley's parents admit they share her sadness and begin to comfort her. Sadness and Joy press the button together, making Riley cry tears of joy, creating a new core memory. Only this one is a mixture of yellow and blue, both joy and sadness. It creates a new Family Island that is visibly more complete and allows for the various aspects of her personality to return in full. Several months later, Riley has recovered. She now has new personality islands, most created by mixed core memories. Meanwhile, sadness is finally treated as an equal among the other four emotions, and Joy solemnly remembers Bing Bong's sacrifice as things begin to return to normal and Riley, now 12 years old, adapts to life in a new city. Finally, the five emotions now have a larger, more complete console with which they can act at the same time and help Riley better.